Now we're going to invite our beloved Thay to give us some wonderful words of wisdom. I think, okay. Thay, the floor is yours.
Yes, we are glad to see everybody today. This is a great effort. Thanks to our brother and sister who put an effort to make it available for everybody. In the old times, disciple of the Buddha have to practice a long time in order to read the mind of other people and to talk to other people from distance. But nowadays, we don't need that much practice. We just need the computers and we can listen to everybody, can see everybody from the distance, contact everybody from distance. So that means we practice a little, but we get a lot of results. I hope that, for the magical thing, we have it. Now the big thing is to purify the mind. That is more difficult. So I hope that everybody will put a lot of effort in doing that. Okay, thank you and have a good day.
Thank you, Thay. Okay, so today, this is the first session, as we have been saying from the beginning, the first session of this year 2021. And Fernando, the New York Sangha is the lead presenter of this first day. And we have our brother and director from New York Sangha, Fernando, that we all know and love, to give us the Dharma talk. After he finishes his Dharma talk, there will be an opportunity for dialogue, questions and answers. And then after that, we're going to probably have some announcements. And if we have the time, then we will sit for a few more minutes in meditation. Thank you. Fernando?
Thank you, Elena. When Elena asked me to give a talk, I've been thinking about what personal reflections I wanted to share with you, and I'm very thankful to the opportunity to do this. The Sakyamuni Buddha, in his first Dharma talk, spoke about the Four Noble Truths. And the first Noble Truth was that in this worldly realm, there's an existence of suffering. And suffering has been very evident to all of us in 2020. It is easy to understand that noble truth. Starting with a pandemic that has it has spread through the whole world, has killed so many people, and is still hanging around and possibly continue for a while longer. A pandemic that has affected all people. The elderly has been more susceptible, but even the young are having problems with it. As you know, the problems with the school system is, when do we start? When do we stop? How long do kids go to school for? And so this is affecting children and families. It's affecting all races. Seems to affect sometimes the poor more, but it's affecting all races. It affects all religious traditions. It affects all political affiliations. It's here to stay, and it continues to cause, much suffering. And if that wasn't enough, we've had trouble in other fronts. We had trouble with our some excessive police force, rioting, much hatred, much discussion on all the wrongs being blamed to different groups. Duality par excellence, us versus them. It's been painful to observe that in our country. And it seems to linger on. Then on top of that, we have the fires over in the western states that are causing havoc. People are homeless because their homes are being burnt. Towns are devastated. Our heart breaks to see the suffering that people in these areas are going through, and their effect of the fires is affecting not only the atmosphere around those areas, but it affects the weather in many other states. I believe there was a baseball game in Seattle, Washington, that had to be, I think, canceled because of the smog that people could not be able to see the ball, etc. So it has had repercussions not only in that locally, but through the other states and even other parts of the world. And on top of that, in the South, we're seeing hurricanes and the threat of hurricanes, the worries that brings about. I believe it's a record year in the number of storms coming from the Caribbean and the Atlantic Sea. Well, so much suffering. What is one to do? The news are suffocating. The ending is not in sight. So much sadness, so many deaths. There are no easy solutions. So I just wanted to share with you what has worked for me to deal with all this. I decided to take refuge. I mean, refuge, what a great word. Just saying it makes you feel secure, makes you feel sheltered, makes you feel that you are in a safe place. I choose to take refuge in the three jewels: the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Because I know they will provide me with shelter from all the sufferings of 2020. Just like running to the comforts of a home when there's a rainy thunderstorm outside. I take refuge in the Buddha, the one who shows me the way in this life. Why do I think that the Buddha can provide me with a safe place that we can rely on? Well, I mean, that's where our practice comes in. I know that the Buddha has made me feel safer by following his teachings and understanding his way of helping us look at life. He has been a great teacher in calming our minds, letting go of perceptions, attachments, and become acquainted with the real beauty of life. He points to all the things that are needed to follow the path to enlightenment. His teachings have proven to me that they truly help me feel secure. But when I take refuge in the Buddha, I do not only think of the Sakyamuni Buddha as my only teacher. The Buddha to me represents the wisdom that all my teachers have helped provide a guide. I think of teachers like Jesus, Moses, Lao Tzu, the Prophet Muhammad, as well as many of their students such as Shantideva, Thich Nhat Hanh, Dalai Lama, St. Paul, Francis of Assisi, Rumi. And I also include our own Thay Tri Huang. When I take refuge in the Buddha, I take refuge in all the wisdom imparted by all those teachers, realizing that appreciating their wisdom will provide shelter from any suffering. I do take refuge in the Buddha and the wisdom that as they will show me the way in this life. I also take refuge in the Dharma, the way of understanding and love. I think, where would I be without the Dharma? Where would I be without all those teachings, all those tools, all those rafts that help me see the world as it truly is? The Dharma is able to transform us because it gives us new pairs of glasses to see the world. When I see the suffering of 2020 through the eyes of impermanence, I know that all those sufferings are going to end. The same way they have a beginning and an end, just like all of us, like all the things in life. When I see the sufferings through the lenses of no self, I realize how much I am a part of so many people and things. I learned that there's nothing special about me, but what's special is all those other people that have contributed to who I am and what I can do. I begin to realize how much I'm a part of others. So I don't get dragged into the feeling of us versus them, because we're one. And try to help others see this unity so that there is less strife. When we see a policeman and we see a rider, we need to see ourselves in both of them and try to understand that we are them the same as they are us. And it's hard to understand what conditions brought them to where they were. When I see the world through the eyes of the Dharma, looking at conventional versus ultimate reality, makes me feel not as insecure with what's happening in the world today. Makes me feel that there is a higher purpose, and I have to look at things from a different point of view. I take refuge in the Dharma, a way of understanding and love. I also take refuge in the Sangha, the community who lives in harmony and awareness. But what is a Sangha? What is your Sangha? Well, Sangha is a community that can be defined in many ways. Classical Sangha, in which is composed of bhikkhus and bhikkhunis, uh, the lay, the male lay people and the female lay people that took part of their teachings. But it also can be defined in other ways. Can be defined a local sangha, a local group like we all have, or it can be defined in a national sangha like we are now. We are a national group partaking through Zoom and being able to get together through Zoom. A sangha is not a club that you belong to that makes you feel good that you are special. It is not a club that gives you easy access to enlightenment or preferential access to enlightenment. A sangha is more like a support group that provides sustenance, gives you strength, and gives you a safe place to be at. Now, we also have sanghas at work. Your family is a sangha. So there's many levels that you can look at what a sangha is. But you should make use of the concept of sangha and try to help each one of your sanghas thrive. You don't have to belong to one sangha. You can be the presence of the community, that sangha, provides you a shelter, a refuge to us. We are safe because we have the wisdom that the Buddha and our teachers have taught us. And we have the tools, the Dharma, to achieve this wisdom. Thich Nhat Hanh says that being part of a sangha is essential. We need each other. We're social beings. We depend on each other. When in our sanghas, we need to cultivate the Brahma Viharas. We need to cultivate compassion, loving kindness, joy for others, and equanimity. Those are qualities that will help the sangha be able to thrive more in harmony. So as you experience all the events of 2020 and you feel disheartened, disillusioned, angry, or doubtful, take refuge in the three jewels, as they will guide you through the difficulties in life. Thich Nhat Hanh said that if it was in an airplane and the airplane was going down, he would practice mindful breathing, and he will take refuge on the three jewels. I think we should do the same. I take refuge in the Buddha and the wisdom of all my teachers, the ones who show me the way in this life. I take refuge in the Dharma, those wonderful teachings that show me the way of understanding and love. I take refuge in all my sanghas and will work to create communities based on harmony and awareness.